Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of For the Culture Live. Here today is your host, Nick Alexander, and
your boy Ty Sterling.
What's going on, party people? It's Ty. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. I've been working all week, dog.
Working. Ty out here working, people.
You know what I mean? Like
I see you different studios.
Yeah, I've been
sets
doing different shit. You know what I mean? But
you getting your experience in.
Yeah, man.
So you want to share what you up to?
Nothing big. You know, a lot of audience work.
All right.
You know
How's that doing? I remember I used to do audience work.
Yeah, I feel like when you come to LA, like that's like the thing. Like before you actually get like established, like you go through that avenue.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
have you done a court show?
Yeah, you remember? That was like the first thing I did when I got here. I did a court show.
I remember when I did a court show for one of Byron Allen's shows because he got like a whole bunch of shows and they just do it super cheap. They're not in and out $50.
Yeah, they in and out boom boom like right then and then they get.
What was your case?
Mine was it was on with Judge Ross, the America's Court with Judge Ross.
Okay.
And I was dating this chick. Dad didn't like me and he didn't want me over the house. So in order to get into the house, I would have to sneak in through her window, and he caught me sneaking in through the window, and he whooped my ass. But his case was that, like, he didn't know who I was. He thought I was a burglar. But really, he knew who I was. So, like, that was, like, the whole thing. So me trying to prove that Hilarious. He knew that.
Where did they find you? Where did you lost the case?
I won the case because I was the plaintiff.
My man.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? I don't take no fucking L's. I lost my case.
Oh yeah.
I had a shitty dress shirt because I wasn't prepared to like do this fucking court show, but I was just like, I need like $50.
Yeah.
I was.
They pay you right then and there, right? The same day.
I think I got it on. I got it on the spot.
Yeah, they pay like back then. They used to pay same day.
Yeah.
Now there's like this new law in place, like they can't pay you cash.
So you have to wait on a check. Yeah. And then they tax that shit.
I'm still waiting on my damn check from February 4th when I did Buried in the Backyard.
What's that? What's that show?
It's a show. It's like a forensic show.
Okay.
And so I played like some CSI guy, and
you did?
No. I'm alive. I'm just I'm investigating the crime scene. So
you got the jacket on. That's like a little fat jacket,
right? Yeah. So they told me I was gonna get paid in 2 weeks. Nigga, it's been a month. A month and some days.
You should call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that process would be taking like it might have said on the paperwork like 30 to 60. And then I'd be like, y'all niggas gonna really make me wait this long for $42 or $67, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was a good check, but still, nigga, damn.
Yeah, I need that money. I remember, you know, it's so funny, this fucking town and acting and shit like that. Like, people actually audition for like roles that are useless, but it's work. Like, they hire somebody to play somebody that got shot that's under the fucking cover.
Yeah,
like when they lift.
Yeah,
like,
yep.
I don't know how that audition goes. I never had an audition for the dead nigga in Law and Order when you just the body.
Yeah, like what is that?
Like, is this enough, sir? Like, that's perfect. I love the way your wrist it flakes out like this. Like,
oh man,
acting is such a silly game. This was funny. I had to do like a self tape, so they got these people that sending me out and stuff, and like, you know, it's been a minute since I did dramatic shit, so like. You know, I put in my work. I was happy that I got the lines in, you know, whatever. I learned my lines, and I felt like I made a choice or whatever like that. And then they gave me some real just notes like, you know, just honestly, you know, it wasn't all bad. Just you didn't make any interesting or creative choices. And then I had to say to myself, you know, I could feel that what I did was decent, but I got to think about, like, who you know, and this is where you have to manage trying to be your best self versus, you know, obviously you're in competition with other actors. And there's people who really train this, they eat this, they breathe this, they sleep this. So, like, maybe what they're doing on a tape might be way more just impactful. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, like, that's why dramatic drama is such a different muscle than comedy. And, like, I know where my chops up comedically are super sharp because that's what I've been doing as far as sketch or stand-up or whatever.
Right.
But when you're going into that dramatic lane, you could feel like you're doing something big and you might not be doing shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I put on a look. Like, I got put on my glasses. I got a jacket on. I was trying to look more serious because I had to do, like, a speech and play like I was somebody important. But it's just, like, you know, you got to remember, like, preparation and then also just, like, you have to take that up another level in anything that you do. You know what I mean? Because there's people who send in these things and they are just so like they're so trained and on it. So you know, it felt good because I was like I haven't gone through that kind of like real criticism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you.
I mean, it's good that they gave you some notes.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Nigga, you want people to tell you this. It hurts.
Yeah.
Like you be thinking, man, fuck them, whatever. But I mean, I wasn't even on like that because you got to be real with yourself. So it's like if I'm not training in a theater class or a studio or I'm with an acting coach, you know, consistently or whatever like that, those skills fall off. Even Denzel has an acting coach with him on set, or he has somebody who's working with him. You know what I mean? Or a lot of great actors still do. So, you know, it's a feel good moment. But when you doing dead nigga number 5 at the crime scene, you got to put your all in the dead. Like you ever watch somebody go like over the top as a when they get shot or whatever? Like they're like, oh. Like, it's crazy, son. We watch those old 80s films. Like, they used to just go extra when they would die. Like, in, like those mob movies. Like,
I think it was was it The Town that I was watching?
Yeah.
Like, it was the one, The Town is the one with Ben Affleck, right? And, like, I think his brothers, and then they go, like, to rob a bank or something like that. Like, they dress up as, like, the nuns or something like that.
I think that was The Town.
So, I think it was that movie. They go to rob the bank, and you can clearly hear this lady in the back. Oh my God! I'm like, damn, bitch, she was so fucking extra. Like, she was so extra. I'm like, dog, like, I know they ain't tell her to do that.
Right.
But she did that, like, for her own, you know what I mean? For her own shit.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone's just like, ooh, and then all you hear is, oh my God, he got a gun, he's got a gun. I'm like, bitch, all right. Relax before that nigga shoot you for real. Damn. But
what's up?
All right, so I'm not gonna say the person's name, but you remember the person?
Okay.
When you was gonna do the comedy shit and
comedy with shit
like the stand up, like the open mics. You remember that person that gave you a problem because you the sign up shit?
Yes.
Nobody likes that bitch.
I can imagine.
Nobody likes her.
All right.
So I was talking to a close friend of ours. I don't want to say his name because I don't want
another comic friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the team.
Gotcha.
Big guy. So he was like, yeah. He's like, man, that bitch is a liar. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, she said that so-and-so is a danger to women and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's her card. When she don't like you, she will, like, say you sexual harass.
You hate women.
You hate women.
Yeah,
like, that's
I learned
thing.
everything about her in those 2 hours that that bullshit.
Yeah,
Mike.
so, like, man, I stopped doing the...
just don't even go. Don't support it. Like, don't even put money in that business.
She banned people for making, like, too many women jokes.
Somebody like that, like, that's all she's ever probably going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's her world. That's her orbit. And there's such a fucking... Comedy is, like, worldwide, and, like, she probably won't even leave that shit because of just doing what she's doing, thinking she's doing something for comedy. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, you know, it has gotten to a point because the mic culture is so just whack out here, where there are, you know, male comics who just be saying off the riff shit with no thought or whatever about their jokes, and some of it is like it's just, you know, it's foul talking. You know, women, they're usually the minority at these mics, so it's like you got to think about it from their perspective. Like, I got to watch like 6, 7, 8 guys in a row shit on women, talk about jokes or pussy or whatever, they dissing them, trashing them, and you build a resistance to it. And then you feel like, okay, so when I get my place, I have to take a stand and do this kind of thing. But it's like, you can't play comedy police.
Yeah,
like,
you can't.
You just can't. I mean, you know, if you want to spend your career doing that, cool. But it's just like, you gotta. There's battles here and there, and you just gotta figure out what's gonna work. So, but yeah, that's what's up. I mean, like like I said, I only had to go to that mic once to figure out, okay, I'm never probably gonna come back here. Like, I won't even deal with the headache. I'll go somewhere else. Like, I found this other mic. Shout outs to I big it up, Echoes on Pico.
Yeah, I fuck with you. You went?
I went like last week. I was gonna go this week, but then I had something came up where I just couldn't get over there in time to sign up. I like the system. You can get up there early. You can sign up and be the first 5 possibly. You get a drink. You support the venue. It's very cozy. You know, the guys, the hosts, they like to have a little bit of fun. Sometimes it kind of gets on it teeters the line of a little bit of heckling, but you know.
Oh, the host, right? Oh
yeah,
my
but
God.
you know, it's manageable. So it's
no, you wasn't there that night. There was one night where like 2 comics like walked out. They're like, all right, fuck this, and they just walked out like upset.
Yeah.
And I was telling them boys, I'm like, hey man, y'all got to chill out with that shit. I was like, don't do that shit when I'm up there.
Right.
I will stop the whole set. And I'll go down there and I'll talk to you.
Yeah, but I like that. I feel like I could go there like once a week and I'd be like, okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. 7:30ish. It works around.
They do.
my time frame.
You know what's the good thing is? If you do the 7:30, right? You can do the 2 for 1. So you can do 7:30. You pay your little $5. 7:30, and then they have another one at 9:30, and you can just do both.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's cool.
Yeah, I probably would do that. Are they open every day of the week?
I believe so.
Because then I would do that like if I was gonna go hang out at the Union or someplace like that. Have you been to the Comedy Union?
I always see people out there, but I've never been in there.
You should start going there. That's a good place for you to like cultivate and like work. Like a lot of guys, BT Kingsley, Ron G. A lot like I said, it's a black club, so you should hit those other guys up and just see what you got to do to kind of get up in there, because that'd be a good first club to kind of work. I've done some shows at the Union. I just never go out there because it's just kind of like never in my territory. And but if you work your way up in there, they do use comics a lot, and you can grow there for sure. And it's a black crowd. Food is banging. They sell soul food in the spot.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, it's mac and cheese, green beans, and chicken, all time. Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
It's good in there. Good soul food and really good comedy. Shout out to Enz Mitchell at the Comedy Union.
Oh, also speaking of comedy, if y'all in the area, even if y'all not in the area, go support my dog Juice with the open mic spot in Inglewood.
Ah, yeah. Shout out to Juice.
Yeah, my boy trying to.
Have you been?
I still haven't been.
Okay.
Because it's a little far for me. Not too far. Not too far, but it's a little out of the way. Like especially like when I'm trying to go like right after work. Sometimes I'll be like in North Hollywood, and then it's just a lot of driving.
It's a journey.
But still, like if you're in the area, man, in Inglewood, open mic spot, they have 2-for-1s too. Like you pay your little $5 or whatever, and then you could do 2 spots. And sometimes they'll give you like a 10-minute slot.
Okay. And they have crowds there?
Yeah,
they do. All right.
Yeah, so like
just black-owned, right business.
Yep.
Trying to get comedy established in other parts of LA. That's maybe not like it's not Hollywood, but the comedy still got to take place outside of Hollywood, because if it was up to just trying to get on in Hollywood, people wouldn't get on. So you got to go hit these little rooms in Inglewood, in the Valley, on the West Side, and downtown Silver Lake. You got to go to these places and work your shit out. So I definitely feel like I should go. I'll go down there and go support Juice. And I'll do a mic. I'm not above a mic. I just always got to find the right mic to do. But at this point, that's my thing. It's like if it's between going home and writing or being creative in another fashion, and we're going to a mic with a shitty ass culture and and then just paying $5. Like I have a mic that's like right there in the house. Like I would love to just go there and just work out, but they charge you and they don't let you just buy a drink. So I can't.
Oh, it's just a charge.
It's just a charge, and I just can't do it. Paul, you got any thoughts about mic culture in LA? You wanna hop on the mic and talk some shit? Or you want to watch that Clippers-Lakers game? What's the score? I fucked up. I scheduled the podcast on the Clippers game, and I know my boy would rather definitely be watching the game than doing this podcast. So we are going to try to be more mindful when we record, because we're probably going to watch the game after and finish the game. We got Paul Verdugo weighing in, fellow comic resident host extraordinaire. Just, talk about mic culture in LA. Do you agree with my philosophy on mic culture if you are further along in stand-up? As opposed to when you're new, like
it's not as valuable for people that are further along, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, even like the little 3-minute, 5-minute slotted spots where you got to pay the $5. What these rooms are for? They're for networking. They're not for working out material.
Yeah,
because you could find the longer spots. I mean, I always preach outside of LA, but
for sure.
I mean, in LA, slotted is everywhere.
Yeah,
but a lot of these places outside, they're. Find the free mics. Just find the free mics.
They're there. You just have to journey a little bit. You might have to just, try to you have to get lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Even where I am in the OC, where my mic is free, and then next door is a slotted mic. So people can, but they choose to double up. So they see it as like $5. I can double up.
2 for 1.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you got out your house, you got up twice. So it's not a bad philosophy, not at all. So Paul, you just had a show you did at the Comedy Store. I think I saw a status you had on Facebook. I thought that was funny, where you like hoping what was it about the second comic next to last that wasn't funny or something?
Oh, so yeah, so I'm outside of the Comedy Store. I'm outside the belly room, just in the little walkway, and I'm hearing people as they're leaving the belly room. I just went up. I had a good set. I had to go on after the headliner, which is always a rough spot, especially because everybody goes for him. So I mean, but I held my own. I had a good set. I'm good with the crowd work. So
that's what's up.
That always gets people
that experience
back.
Hosting, man.
Yeah, exactly. So as I'm chilling outside, these people are walking by, and I overhear them, and they're like, man, everybody was really funny tonight. Besides that second to last guy, I didn't like him at all. But he said it right next to me, and I thought he was talking about me for sure.
And you had to count.
So my heart sank, and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I was the third to last guy." Yeah, but the guy who went up, obviously I'm not going to give away too many details, but underage comic. So they had to like escort him in and then escort him out because you're not allowed to be in there if you're not 21.
Kid treatment. It happens.
Yeah, very green.
Okay.
Very funny, but he did something that Shang taught me.
Oh, what's up?
Shang used to tell me, like, the few sets I've done in front of Shang, I'll always ask him for advice.
All right.
And he said...
He'll watch you if you ask him.
Yeah. And he told me, he's like, dude, he's like, you're steamrolling your punchlines. He's like, you're just steamrolling the laughs. He's like, just let it breathe. He's like, are you doing 5? Okay, do 4. And just let there be pauses. Yeah. So this kid was just like, bam, bam, bam. He would hit a punchline, just get a laugh, and go right into the next thing.
And that's just the green part. That'll come. I talk so fast, naturally. So when I'm probably my first 2-3 years, maybe even now and then when I'm rusty or whatever like that, I'll get into points where like, because the New York crowds train you that you have to be so boom, 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 boom. And so sometimes when you're going on the road, like if you work like in the Midwest or the South, they operate at a slower pace. So when you're trying to beat them up with jokes like you do in New York because you're trying to hold the crowd's attention, it can sometimes backfire on you because like you're not even given the chance to let the crowd laugh, and then you're moving on to the next joke, so they got to just like whatever. So you're just doing too much. So I had to learn too, like learn how to pause. But then you also have to counter with that because the LA culture is all about being so relaxed and so pausey, where like your shit ain't funny enough for you to be sitting in the pocket like that. Like you gotta step it up. So when you find that really good balance of being punchy but not steamrolling, but then also learning how to have your timing and lay back, but then not being so chill where you're just letting shit breathe out too long, because that'll mess up flow also. And then because some people just feel like, yeah, he would just like take a long time to get into the next joke, and it's just especially if that punchline don't hit. So it's just repetition and learning. So I mean, shout outs to the kid. Like I was underage, when I started. He might be younger than me. I was 18, 19 when I started doing stand up. So he
was around the same.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's what's up, man. If anybody who has the balls to get on stage, try to make grown-ups laugh, you have my respect. So I hope he keeps going. Yeah. He or she keeps going.
And he was funny. I mean, that was the good. I mean, I liked it. I know some people didn't like, but his material was also like
18, 19-year-old shit.
But it was also like a gay comic. So like it was a lot of like grinder stuff and like that, which I thought was hilarious because of how gross it was that he was talking.
He's fighting these hard battles. Like
oh yeah. But there was a lot of the conservative people in the audience were like, I didn't find him.
Yeah. Store people.
Oh, since we're on comedy, shout out to Haiti, dog. He won Best New Comic in the Portland Comedy Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shout outs.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the boy.
Yeah, I saw that he went. He was trying to get me to go, but nigga ain't got no bread right now, so I'll watch from Instagram.
Watch from Instagram, man.
Yeah,
you should start submitting the how many years you got in?
2.
Well,
not even.
Well, look, I don't always base it on years because it depends just how hard you work in a year. So if you have at least a solid 15 minutes, I would put myself in festivals where you're only doing like 5 to 7 minute shows because you should have that to be able to do. Like you're not going to be headlining in a festival no time soon. So if you're doing a festival where all that's required is to do a short set, then I would start submitting. Like you don't know what you can manifest.
Yeah.
Like don't put a thing of because I've only been doing a certain. I'm not worthy of this experience. Tracy Morgan did Showtime, The Apollo, and Def Jam within his first year and a half, and he probably only had like 10 to 12 minutes, but he just ran them. The sets that he would do were just so impactful because of his confidence, his performance. So he didn't put those hurdles and barriers. So that's why I would say just don't even worry about that. Just put yourself out for it if you know you have the time. And if you don't think you have the time, then really believe in what you do have the time for and just rock that shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, don't even put a ceiling on your shit. Just go for it. But be active in festivals because, when you do festivals out of town, you a lot of people who book shows watch those festivals. So it's like you might be able to conquer like little regions of work. So, you're not doing grandiose venues. But, hey, if you can figure out how to make this 4 or 5 day thing work in different towns, you make a couple $100. You have to learn how to figure out manage your travel. That's the game. That's the road grind. And, at this stage, you should definitely just try to get all these different kinds of experiences, you know what I mean? So I would do festivals. I'm trying to do festivals. Like I'm going to Charlotte at the end of the month to do a festival. And it's been a minute since I've done like a out-of-town stand-up festival, you know? So, you should definitely look into those. Yeah. You do festivals, Paul?
No, I'm barely starting to submit.
I think the San Diego one is out. Flappers has one at Burbank. You should submit for that one. That's a good way to help you get in the club, get seen. especially since you're local. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. I am pro. I am pro festival. I'm just the thing where you have to be choosy of is like, what am I wanting out of it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes there are festivals that are more clout driven, criteria driven. So if you don't really have those, you won't feel as motivated to spend that money on submission fees. But for ones where it's like it's not too far, it's not too like I can go to Portland, I can manage a trip to Seattle, I could do San Diego or someplace in Oakland or whatever like that. That's you gotta make those work.
Yeah.
What else? What we got on the docket to talk about? What's
I seen some crazy shit
What popped off?
this week. Or was it last week?
Coronavirus at an all-time high?
I mean,
Not really.
yeah, there's a coronavirus or whatever, but I feel like the media is like,
I read on Media Takeout Trump might have coronavirus. I was like, yo, somebody created coronavirus on the chance that they knew that it could get to Trump at some point, then I want to kind of like...
Yo, I said that the other day. Somebody who caught the coronavirus shook hands with Pence. And I think Pence could have got it, or he could have got it, or he did get it. And I saw that, and I just replied, chestnut checkers, nigga.
Right.
It's a slow grind.
It's a different kind of game I'm playing over here. Playboy.
It's a slow grind. But no, what I saw was, the chick, Bad Barbie, Bad Baby.
Hey, bad baddie.
She got into a beef with Sky Jackson, the
Okay.
girl from Disney Channel, the little black girl.
All right.
And she went on live and was like, you fucking with the wrong one, I will kill you. Right? So then the mom got involved. So now the moms like are beefing it with each other. Like, oh, I'll meet up with you. Like, you talking all this shit, I will beat your ass. Like, the moms are talking like this. And I'm just like, all right, Bad Baby. Like, you had some black people defend you with the braid shit.
Right.
You had some black people defend you with the other shit that you did. Nobody's going to defend you when you come at Sky Jackson.
Nah.
She's the sweetest little girl. You know what I'm saying?
She's
Like,
doing positive things.
you fuck with Sky, these niggas gonna put you in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave her the fuck alone. I think Sky just got to the point where she was just like, you know what, fuck this shit. I ain't fighting her. You know, because she's a little girl. So she put like a restraining order against her. So that's one of the crazier things that I seen.
I seen this thing with back to just a little on coronavirus. The NBA, they're considering having talks about taking precautions about how the virus is because it's starting to like manifest, and so if worst case scenario, they would possibly be in a situation where they would only allow press and organization people to watch the game, no fans. And then LeBron, they asked LeBron that price. Like, I ain't playing. I don't know what they do.
Fans, I'm not playing.
I ain't playing.
Which I get them. Like, you
that'd be
play
such
for
a
the
weird
fans.
game.
Yeah,
that's an empty.
It's a scrimmage.
You basically scrimmage.
It's a scrimmage.
That shot clock gonna sound weird.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson. You can hear Mark Jackson and Van Gundy like on the court while they talking during the game. Could you imagine?
Like, when Mark Jackson watching it on TV.
Mark Jackson talking about Savannah with just like only 50 niggas.
I'll knock her out of the park.
Knock her out the park.
LeBron, time out. What'd you say? Did you say about my wife stuff? I heard you this time. I heard you this time,
nigga. Watch your fucking shit. I hope that doesn't happen. I feel like they'll manage it. I don't know. Am I wrong? I'm not as worried about coronavirus.
I'm not as worried, but like the more I watch the news, I keep getting worried. You know what I mean?
Because
but
they're doing that. Though.
Yeah, I'm not worried, but it's like every time I turn on the TV, it's like they want me to worry.
My cousins hit me in my group text in New York. They're like, "Yo, it came out. Somebody got it in Far Rockaway." So, and like, I'm just like, "How y'all gonna move now?" I was like, "Well, nigga, the same way we've been moving. Nigga, we gonna take the bus. We gonna train. We got no other choice. Nigga. We gonna drive out here. Like, it's weird. I mean, I just please be safe. I hope that they can find a vaccine or a cure for the virus as soon as possible. I just hope that it doesn't become a money grab to like figure out a way to take advantage of people who have coronavirus who might not have health insurance. That's what I ultimately am thinking about when it's about this thing spreading. You know what I mean? Because I want people's well-beings to be good, and I just don't want to have the situation be turned into something where like it's costing people in even different ways because you're hurting people's pockets, and like you need treatment. Like this is another big kind of outbreak, and then you kind of seeing also two people put out like how almost damn near every other year there's a new thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, is this real? Well, obviously it has to be real because there are some stats of charted deaths and people affected, but
so it's only a 2% fatality rate, but
it's pretty low, really low actually.
But I will say this: North Korea said they had a gift for us, and now coronavirus is taking over.
It took a gift a little bit, but it wasn't about China or North Korea.
Yeah, Korea sent somebody to China.
Why did they
drop that bitch?
Why did they do China like that? Though?
Because everything is made in China.
But why North Korea? I'm saying, what would make North Korea want to start shooting the shit with China? You know what I'm saying?
Because that motherfucker don't care.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's trying to find the
Kim Jong-un?
Because like I'm pretty sure like the relationships with America and North Korea is not like, even though they were shaking hands, like it may not be
right.
You know,
it ain't buddy.
It ain't buddy. So he's like, all right, fine. I gotta find another way
Yeah.
to get this shit over there. Everything we got is fucking made in China. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cough on a couple iPhones. You know what I mean? And send that bitch over. That's basically what I think.
Yeah. Well, do we know the symptoms of coronavirus? Do you guys know?
I saw the symptoms. It's like headaches, really bad coughing.
Okay.
I believe like vomiting could be involved and shit like that. So like it's pretty like obvious if you were to have it though. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just sitting right here and I got it. You know what I mean? You would know if you have some shit.
Right.
So
They said it's between a cold and like a bad flu.
Okay.
So it only poses a danger if you're old or have like immune system deficiencies. Other than that, it's just gonna be like you have the flu for a week.
yeah.
So it's just a freak fluke.
Yeah, and like they said that like half of the people that have gotten it have already gotten over it. If that makes sense.
You know, I'm mad that I'm even sharing this, but I was listening to a podcast, and maybe you have to like look it up to get numbers because I'm paraphrasing what I heard. So you know, don't take it so literal. But they were saying how there's like a poll was taken, and 20 or 30% of the nation believed that you can get the coronavirus from drinking Corona beer. Now, let me ask y'all, do you actually believe that there's people who believe that and took it to be true?
Yes, there's people that believe
Yeah.
that.
This country's just dumb, right?
Yeah.
Some parts of this country is just dumb. Like, you really think you got the virus from drinking that fucking beer? Brother Ty, can you come back to us? But
You know that the Corona beer, their sales have gone down like
yeah, they
drastically.
really. You know, it's funny. So I had a writing packet that I was submitting for a writing gig, so I had to do like monologue jokes or whatever like that. And I actually wrote a joke about the coronavirus and the Corona beer or whatever like that. And I was like, yo, what if this shit like starts happening? And it was something about like their business, like, and it's fucking it really their stock really came down because of this shit.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, damn, this couldn't happen to like Heineken. Like that's what they probably asking themselves. Like,
You know what's funny is the coronavirus might be the reason why Trump loses
really?
the election. And the reason I say that
Speak
is
more on this, Paul.
so the way that a president gets reelected the majority of the time is by the strength of the economy. And this coronavirus scare has like stopped trading and stuff.
Oh yeah, festivals, big festivals that bring in money, they canceled.
Yeah, so there's a lot of money that's not being spent. So the economy's actually been slowly going down ever since the coronavirus thing came out. So while everybody's freaking out about if Trump's going to get reelected, if the coronavirus keeps tanking the economy,
And big businesses.
yeah, because then people aren't going to be happy when it comes to election season.
Right.
You know, that's why Obama got reelected. Like a big reason why was because the economy was fine.
And it's like, well, I don't see any problems here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
nigger second term. So I wanted to bring this up. So last night I've been on I catch waves of inspiration and I get really like obsessed about it. I think I gave myself a diagnosis one time. It's called like obsessed passionate disorder or whatever, or passive whatever. So I've been really into sketch more than I ever have. You know, obviously with Cornbread Kitchen, which returns next Sunday, March 15th at UCB in the Sanctum 8:30. Make sure you get there. But I've been really just fascinated with sketch comedy. I read this I did a really good audiobook, and I'm gonna send it to you. If you should definitely listen to it. It was called In Living Color. It just talks about everything that went through during every season of In Living Color. And it also goes in and out of the Wayans family coming up. Sort of Keenan's journey in the 80s when he started out, even in the 70s when they were growing up in the projects in New York, and touches a little bit on the other individual siblings. Then it talks about also how that emerged with the black comedy revolution in the 80s with the Brat Pack of Eddie and Arsenio, Keenan, and that, because that was their crew. Paul Mooney a little bit too. Then like after the run, it talks about everything else that the show inspired and how people who worked on that show as writers, producers, worked on these other sketch comedy shows, and like the thumbprint that In Living Colors had on comedy like the last 20, 30 years even is so like it's just amazing. But just hearing about the dynamics of how they were like coming up with stuff and just the fighting and the way Keenan ran the show and just how it was a stressful, crazy environment, but obviously it breeded comedy fucking gold. It just really put me in the thing of just having to like, just go about things with cornbread in a different way, and just doing. So I've been watching a lot of sketch. So I put a status out, anyways. Long story short, about my favorite sketch list. So I did top 5 sketch actors of all time. Whether you have a starting 5 for male, women, because I didn't want to just. There was some great women in there too, so I didn't want to just not let them be in a top 5. So I want to just put up 2 top 5s. So I wanted to ask y'all, if you guys want to come up on the spot, your top 5 sketch comedic actors, meaning only about the work they did in a sketch, regardless of if they didn't have a great movie career, whether they did have a great TV career, movie career, or specials. We're only talking about the work they did in a sketch. What was your personal favorite? It could be from any sketch show, any era, or whatever. Your top 5. I know one of yours, but you can, if you want to think about your list, 5 men, 5 women. If you want to get a 6-man, you can get a 6-man. Obviously, I always love to play the starting 5 with a 6-man.
I don't know enough to do
It's
5 women and 5 men.
Well,
So I just do top 5 altogether. So I'm gonna go Damon, number 1.
All right. Damon Wayans.
Yeah. Chappelle, number 2.
Of course.
I have to.
I mean,
I have to.
If he's your favorite, you can put him number 1.
No, but I just got to give respect to Damon because he was like.
The work on The Living Color is I can watch. It's still funny, bro.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And like,
and you know what?
Yeah.
I was I do the Brother Shabazz shit.
Yeah.
I was looking back and I'm like, damn, he had a character like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and his shit was hilarious. So I'm like, damn, dog, like. He really inspired a lot,
Character wise, man, Damon is just a monster.
Yeah.
He also had this other sketch show he did. It only lasted 1 season. It was called The Underground on Showtime. Do you remember that?
Yeah, The Underground.
So it came out in like 06. It was like right after My Wife and Kids. He did a sketch show called The Underground, and basically his thing was just trying to do a living color without no censors. So they was fucking cursing. They had a fucking sketch about pussy lips, and there was a vagina. Like you see a pussy, and Tiffany Haddish's voice is rapping. It was called Vagina Monologues. That shit was great, yo. Like you literally saw a pussy on stage with lip, and
that's where the Vagina Monologues came from.
I think
because I know they had they had a show about it, and then people would make fun of it on their show.
I think they were making fun of it, but but yeah, it was the Vagina Monologue with Tiff rapping, with actual vagina rapping.
Yeah. That's funny.
But that show was really dope, but it only got 1 season. I don't really remember the story as to why it got canceled. I think it was like Damon wanted more promotion, but then they didn't want to. But he owned the show, and they were like, you have to relinquish your ownership to get more promo or something like that. But I don't know. It was funny too. But obviously, everything goes back to In Living Color because he did Handyman, Homie the Clown, fucking Oswald Bates, the brother getting out of jail, Reverend Ed Cash, fucking Blaine Edwards from Men on. I mean, the list goes on and on. So you start with there, right? So then you go to Chappelle, and clearly the Chappelle sketch show. I mean, in 2 seasons, and you can even count the third one if you want. This fucking masterful, brilliant, must-watch TV. I think that was the last time I watched a show where everybody was like, yo, did you see what happened on this show? You were really getting on your seats. You saw a wave happen in real time.
Yeah, it was just...
Because I didn't watch the first season. I actually only saw the second. People would tell me about the show when I was in middle school, right? And then it was like, yo, you got to watch a show called Chappelle Show. This shit is funny. It's funny. So I saw the episode where they did like the recap of season 1, like the best of, and then I started the second season. And then that's when it was starting to get even more popular because that's when the Rick James shit happened.
And I really believe,
growing up, you watched that, right? Real time. Real time, right? Yeah.
I really believe now that, I'm into comedy and stuff like that, and I'm doing it. Yeah. I really believe a lot of this shit was, his jokes, and he just turned it into a sketch. Some
of it, yeah, for sure. Some of it inspires.
Because the shit where he was talking about, a gay community and how they had the gay Ku Klux Klan and all that shit. That shit was fucking. That shit is funny.
Yeah,
if you were to say that on stage with no sketch, with no acting out, and just find a way to write, it would still be funny.
Yeah, and that's why. And just to harp a little bit back on Damon before we go to your list, the reason why I love Damon's comedy and put him in such high regard is because if you watch his older stand-up specials, you saw him do bits with characters, and then those characters manifested on The Living Color. Some of it got into the movies. Some of it got onto the TV show. He literally would have bits that could work when he do characters, and it always showed up in little parts of In Living Color or anything else that he did, which was great. And Chappelle, I'm sure Chappelle had a couple of bits in his stand-up that somehow turned its way up into a sketch of some sort, especially the race-related ones, because that's Chappelle's biggest theme, I think, throughout his comedy career is whenever he talks on race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know one bit that he did for sure.
From his old stuff that translated on the show?
Yeah, was the R. Kelly shit when he was like, Nigga, how you gonna make a video about peeing on somebody? Like when R. Kelly had asked him, he's like, yo, he's like, I seen your little show, man. He's like, how you gonna make a video about peeing on somebody? He's like, nigga, how you gonna make a video about peeing on somebody? So that shit is funny. But yeah, it's Damon, Dave, the sister.
Kim Wayans.
Kim.
So underrated, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote on my status too, like, yo, how did she not get more out of her career and whatnot? And I really think, like, me and Reek talked, brother Reek, we talked about it, about Kim's just talent and whatever. And I just feel like that time Hollywood wasn't trying to back up a strong, funny black female as a lead. Like, granted, black comedy in the 90s was amazing. Like, we got more than we ever did as far with the shows and acting and even, for female comedic actors in some parts. But, there wasn't a chance for a female lead. Like, the way Tiffany Haddish has got to become a lead. This is, like, still new.
Yeah.
And Kim didn't get a chance to, like, lead a series. She was on In the House with LL Cool J afterwards and was good on that. And she guest appeared here and there. But I definitely felt like, man, Kim could have been, like, a dynamic lead fucking person. And being, like, those bridesmaids type of chicks where, she's that black girl in the group and just kills it. And, I mean, it's not to say that it is not a chance. Like, maybe Kim will get to do something where we get to see her on a even bigger stage. But in Living Color, man, we talk about Benita Petrel, Cephas and Reese's, when she did Oprah. The Go On Girl, like Kim was a monster. Laquita, I love Laquita.
Yep.
Fucking masterful. Who else you got? Who else would you say?
Man, it took me a while to like come to this one because I was going through like everybody on Mad TV.
I mean, shout out to Mad TV. Like I had somebody brought it to my attention how their first 3 seasons they said was really, really, really good in his opinion, and so he put the whole cast. He said the cast of Mad TV seasons 1 through 3. Yeah. I'm like, how you put that shit on your list? He was like, nigga, that's to me that shit was.
It was really good, but it's hard for me to like get one specific person from there.
So what would you end up? What would you say?
Not for me.
All right, we'll get to you. Hold on, we'll get to you.
I ended up going Jim Carrey number 4.
So you're just going from the straight and Living Color bag.
Yeah, and then number 5. If I could do this, it would.
I'll give you a 6 man, so you get 2 more.
All right, so they come in a pair, Keenan and Kel.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody hit me up too. They called me out. No love for Kel Mitchell or Lori Beth or whatever like that.
Yeah,
but Keenan and Kel, all that. Look, it was for kids.
Yeah.
Kids and teenagers. And we were kids and we got the privilege of growing up with all that.
And it was really
funny. Dumb niggas was funny.
Amanda Bynes was funny too.
Amanda Bynes was great. Lori Beth was great.
And she ended up getting her own show.
She was a Josh Mitchell or some shit like that. He was good. The white guy. Yeah. I mean, but Keenan and Kel, man, those were the duos. Like, let me see. Keenan's sketches were recurring. His recurring characters was the chocolate sauce. Mm-hmm. He had the Pierre Escargot, the French in the bathtub. I mean, obviously, Kel Mitchell, Repairman Man.
Hoo-ha.
And then Keenan had the superhero. What was the superhero called? Super Dude.
Yeah.
What else Kel had? Kel had the ghetto chick.
The guy from Good Burger too.
Yeah. I mean, clearly Good Burger got the movie.
Yeah.
Nigga, Good Burger got a whole movie. Ed from Good Burger. And then what was another one that Kel used to have? Cletus. Coach Cletus. Coach Cretan or whatever.
Yeah.
So Keenan and Kel, I ain't mad if you put them in your top 5. Yeah. They were dynamic sketch comedy, and it was a kids show. You know what I'm saying? And it was huge. Like kids made parents watch all that. Like I hold them in high regard. Even if you watch all that now, maybe those sketches don't hold up the same. But when I was little, you couldn't tell me shit. But you can outgrow some. Even grown sketch comedy shows, sometimes they get dated and you can't really relate to them. Yeah. And that's what separates the classics from the okay ones to the good ones. So all right,
my number 6.
All right,
would probably be. This shit is tough.
You're 6th person.
Yeah, number 6.
Off the bench.
Yeah, because I was looking at Amanda. Mm-hmm. I was looking at
it's your personal favorite.
I was looking at Amanda. I was looking at the black chick from Mad TV.
Oh, Deborah Wilson. Shout out to Deborah.
Yeah.
She was on my list.
Oh, she's so funny.
She was great. That Whitney Houston impression.
Yeah.
Bobby! When she used to do that, whatever. I forgot what she was.
Who was the white dude? Look what I can do.
Michael McDonald.
He's great. I saw him on Runyon.
Oh, really?
I was running on Runyon. I said, yo, Mike, look what I can do. I did a little shit.
He did it? Did he laugh?
Yeah, he laughed.
Okay.
Yeah, he cool.
He probably hates that shit.
I was like, hey, man, look.
Hey, man, look.
I was watching your show when I wasn't supposed to be watching because we was young.
Mad TV also came on late, right? Like 10 to 11, 11 to 12?
Yeah.
They competed on Saturday nights with SNL. It had to.
I remember buying it on iTunes for my my what do you call it? Apple
iPod.
The iPod video.
Yeah,
I mean, look, Mad TV had 15 seasons. You know, the rival didn't really pop off, but they 15 years is a long time. And a lot of people would say definitely for a while, even if they never won in the ratings battle, because SNL is just always going to be reigning over any show because it's NBC, it's network. So the difference between ratings and was quality. But there are some years where Mad TV was definitely either, if not better, just right on par with SNL.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like
it was like more raw. That's what
it was just more raw. I mean, you know, they got to take the chances. It was kind of like, you know, and if you learn when you check out that book, I'm gonna send you the audio book. You just do the free trial and just so you just hear that book. If you want, I'll send it to you too. There's writers from A Living Color that worked on Mad TV and I think started or were like the initial creators of Mad TV, or at least ran it for a good portion of the time. And that would have been A Living Color still holding that slot. Yeah. Like if they had did an hour show or if they had went later. It just, unfortunately, when you learn about what happened with that show, you'll be like, God damn, like, it's amazing that they even got 5 seasons because of what was going on behind the scenes. And they explain, they break down everything, right? But Mad TV Mad TV has some great ones. Like Aries Spears made it out of my list, and Deborah Wilson for Mad TV on the males and the female sketch stars. Somebody put Key and Peele as a team. And I like Key and Peele, and if you want to put, like, their show is great, but I don't remember them too much on Mad TV. Like, I wasn't watching them enough. So, and like I said, the list is about favorites.
I forget that they were on Mad TV.
But that's where they got their start.
Yeah, I forget.
But they did some good work.
Yeah, I think my number 2 is going to be Deborah, though.
Deborah? Yeah, Deborah.
It was out of those 3 that I was choosing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be Deborah. Because I liked Aries Spears.
Yeah.
But he was funny to me, but I just can't remember any character off the top of my head.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Aries. I used to watch Mad TV for Aries, and I just remember the DMX shit when he was DMX, when he was fucking talking to DMX when DMX came on the show.
I remember one specific character now. The R. Kelly when he did the
World's Rapist.
The World's Rapist.
That one parody.
I'm the world's greatest statutory rapist. Yeah, I remember that one.
And then they did the He Got Gay.
Yeah,
when he was Denzel.
Yeah.
Obviously, anything when he would do Shaq.
Yeah.
I mean, the celebrity impressions, he was just killing that shit. And he was probably in some good sketches. If I probably watched more Aries work.
Yeah,
but I remember the stuff I remember as a kid is always the whenever they had him in the impression stuff, that's what always stood out. And then the Eddie Murphy party all the time.
Oh yeah, party all the time.
My girl wants to party on the.
My girl never leaves the club.
Yeah, it was.
My girl leaves and never come back for weeks. Never come back for weeks.
I'm gonna go do some cocaine. Phil Lamar, I'm gonna go do some cocaine. Nah, Aries was really good.
Yo!
Yeah.
Oh man, hold on.
You gotta watch the archive. You got YouTube. You can watch.
Fuck.
I bask in the old glory. So Paul, all right. So you got a 5 of men and women, or you want to just intertwine the list?
I'll intertwine the list.
So you got to start in 5 and a 6 man.
Yeah. So Damon didn't hit me as hard because I mean I'm a little younger, but
and that's not what you watched.
In Living Color wasn't what I was a Mad TV kid.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine.
But to me, the greatest sketch guy is.
And your personal 5. It's not the greatest.
But I mean personal.
Okay.
To me,
right.
I think Chappelle is the number 1.
Can't argue with Chappelle.
I like Jim Carrey.
Jim is
number 2.
I mean, phenomenal shit. So you watched a lot of his In Living Color sketches?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was like YouTube later on.
Yeah. So if you're looking at Jim Carrey, you're talking about Fire Marshal Bill, obviously. Anytime he fucking played like a dating show game host or whatever like that, he was just. Jim Carrey is perfect when you're watching about somebody who if he didn't get a lot of things to do into something, he'll do something to make it so funny because he'll just put a little extra on it. And he can just make a little part just. He can get a laugh. Yeah. Because that's how great Jim Carrey is. And what are the characters? Yeah, he had the character who was like the woman with the steroids. What was the character's name?
Oh, fuck. What was it? Vera
Deloso or something like that?
What was it? Vera DeMilo. There you go.
Workout plan.
Where he would pop his shoulder back because he was double jointed.
Yeah.
And it would look so great. 1 and 2 and.
He did a bunch of great impressions. A background guy. He made a fucking sketch pop where he never had lines. Yeah. He did a sketch he had a recurring sketch called Background Guy, and it's about a guy when there's like a news report or something going down. He would be the people walking in the back, but then do funny shit to stand out. And it was like they did it like 4 or 5 times, but he had a recurring sketch called Background Guy, and not one
That's
line,
funny.
but just pure physicality and energy. Like,
Yeah, and even like his movies are just, if you kind of look at them, they're like.
just
but
sketch.
I'm
just
talking
sketch,
about they're
yeah.
kind of like the way
of
they
course.
approach it, like elongated sketches.
Oh yeah,
they're like
yeah.
sketch characters.
That's
that
what
are-
I mean. Yeah, for sure. Those
Yeah.
those early Ace Venturas, like I just actually watched those for the first time the other day.
Yeah, you could be like, that's a sketch. But anyway, so
So
that.
Jim, Dave
This thing
Chappelle.
was ready to hop like, oh, no, he's on movies.
Nah, because that happened. My shout outs to my nigga Nico. This motherfucker, he put 5 people who did shit in sketch, right? And then he gonna write to Tina Arnold and Kim, somebody else, because they great comedic actors. And I'm like, nigga, I didn't ask for that.
So solely off sketches.
You will write specific instructions. Niggas will not follow. He was like, yeah, I know they ain't never did no sketch, but they funny. Nigga, I don't give a
No, nigga, no.
He's like Gabriel Iglesias.
Gabriel Iglesias, right.
He was on
He was on all that.
He was?
Yeah, for like a season.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like in the Nick Cannon run, like towards
okay.
it wasn't towards the end of the All That run, but it was after the initial All That cast was kind of fading out, like late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, appreciate that.
So I got another one too from
else?
In Living Color, Jamie Foxx.
I mean,
Yeah,
gotta have
he
Jamie Foxx.
he was one.
he came on in season 3, and he definitely stood out because of the Wanda character.
Wanda.
And
Did
he
that show that look like this?
right. I mean, yeah, he was definitely picking up the show in the later years because of Wanda, and he also had another sketch called Call the Tooth Williams, and then there was another sketch. He and him and Tommy Davidson had great chemistry together. Like whenever they would do something, like they had these the bouncer dudes sketch that
Yeah,
would be funny.
yeah.
It was like when they would just try to act hard. Yeah, Jamie was definitely great. He did impressions too, like the Bill Cosby parodies and the Little Richards, and yeah, I mean, he definitely has his lane in the sketch hold, and anytime he hosts on SNL, he's always been good.
Yeah. So here's my
favorites, yeah.
here's my big one from Mad TV.
Let me hear this
that you
one.
guys have not mentioned yet. That I think is the GOAT of Mad TV.
little Asian
Will
guy.
Sasso.
Will Sasso.
Do you mean the characters?
So like him doing like Kenny Rogers or him doing Randy Newman. The
Randy
Newman
Newman.
stuff.
Oh my God.
So you were a Mad TV head?
Oh, I mean, I was all of that. Like,
Okay,
I loved all that
Oh,
shit.
right. I watched Mad TV, but not as intensely. Like Paul could probably give me more. You could educate me more on Mad TV. So like, so he had the Randy Newmans.
Randy Newman, Kenny Rogers. Dude, he had this character where they would sing patriotic songs. Like it was just like American patriotic songs.
Yeah.
The whole sketch was just him and Alex Borstein, who's another big one.
Another great
Alex
sketch legend.
Borstein,
Yeah.
that they would do this. I'll show you the clip afterwards. It's hilarious. But Sasso had a lot of side characters too. That he just
Yeah.
he was kind of like the.
How long was he on the show?
How long was he on the show? Was it 6 seasons?
Okay,
Something
that's
like
good.
that?
So he had a good amount of burn where he was like a key guy.
Didn't he have a character when like they would feed him a lot of eggs or some shit? Or he would eat like food or some shit, and he would fill his mouth up with food.
And then like throw up.
Yeah,
afterwards?
and then throw up, yeah.
Yeah. Like
So he was a big guy.
Yeah, he.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's a big guy, but he was hilarious.
And so how many you got right now? You
That's
got Chappelle, Carrey, Fox. This Sasso is
Sasso's 4.
Okay. You get 2 more.
I mean, the one I was gonna add was Deborah Wilson. Just 'cause
You
I
can
think
add, if
Wilson's
Deborah is
hilarious.
your favorite, Paul, you put her there, man.
But this is that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Is like, is she my favorite? I think I put Alex Borstein above her.
That was the other one.
Well, just because like the Miss Swan.
Miss Swan was what is the thing she used to do?
He looked like a man.
He looked like a man.
Which you could not do.
That's
today.
her name. So that's her. That's on the Family Guy.
That's on Family Guy. That's Miss Swan.
Because I always see her. I always see that name.
Yeah, she
I
does a
like
voice.
But
Who
I
does she
never
voice
knew-
on
I-
the show? The wife.
Trisha Tuckinell.
No, she voiced Lois.
The wife.
The wife.
Yeah. So she's been
Because-
getting.
I don't know why I thought it was the chick from The Nanny.
Nah, that's
Fran Drescher?
Fran Drescher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
but
I don't
Alex
know why I
Borstein
thought
been
it
getting
was her.
checks forever. She is. If you're like, how come I don't see her? She was so funny because she
getting
got
paid.
that Family Guy gig and shit. Especially when they came back and they've been on. That's crazy. Family Guy is one of the first shows I ever seen that they got canceled and then came back because the
Yeah.
fans really loved it.
Yeah.
And now it's sitting there like just
Still going.
still strong. I don't
think
watch it anymore, but it's obviously it's
Is
still.
she
still
Asian?
going.
Her last name is Berenstain.
No, she's a white woman.
She's a white lady.
She just dressed up in the character.
She's in Marvelous Miss Maisel now.
Okay.
Yes.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
seen
she's
that
still
shit.
out here. All right. You know, and it's crazy because like, and I think as I've been getting into this sketch world, and I really feel excited for what Cornbread has a chance to do. And you just think about when you watch a sketch show, right? And you feel like who's gonna be the star, who pops. It's crazy because sometimes there are people who take off, and you could clearly see it. And there's some people who dominate when they're on that show, and then you just kind of like, damn, what happened to them? Like, or there's some people who just have decent careers. There's some people who maybe get their own thing after that. Like, you just don't know where it takes you. But like, I feel like when you get on that sketch show, it's just definitely a great platform to have for a few years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to what Cornbread can do. You know, I feel like we have such a talented group, and we've expanded. We have like featured players. You know, my guy, he's rocked with us a couple times, and we got some other great talents that we're using. And we're hopeful that maybe we do get a chance to do like a Cornbread TV show and put our imprint on the sketch world. Like I haven't realized how much I love sketch comedy. In the past couple of months, especially, so like I really feel excited about what it does because it is definitely a big stepping stone for comedians, comedic actors, you know, for sure. And you just, it's you people will work in different ways, but forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's great. Like you said, Alex Borstein been killing it. VO, she got back on screen with Marvelous Maisel. Aries Spears is, everybody thought Aries Spears was gonna be this thing, and he's still a great comic. You know, he's had a lot of great success. But then you got guys like Key and Peele. It's like, wow. They were maybe like cool on Mad TV, but then they fucking put together their own thing and put out a classic sketch show on their own right. And now Jordan is one of the fucking most greatest directors that we have right now, especially this decade and going into this new one. And Keegan is a great comedic actor. Like he's funny in anything he's doing, so he's just gonna work and get them.
And they really are like they would be my six. Would be Key and Peele together
tandem. Okay,
because
they had good chemistry on the show. I'm sure, right?
Great chemistry, but also like, dude, I've never seen non-Latinos play like cholos the way that they play cholos.
They're good.
And they're amazing.
Accents.
I think it's accents and everything. But
that's important too in the sketch world. Accents,
which is funny because a lot of places are banning accents.
Because they're trying to feel like, it's in,
What?
Yeah. There's a lot of
places.
Second City. Didn't Second City, or was it Groundlings? It's either Groundlings or Second City.
That's a comedy company like UCB.
But one of the big ones. That banned accents.
If you're not of the race?
Yeah.
Or just they're trying to say no accents.
I think it's if you're not of the race.
That's going to kill comedy. Like,
oh, fuck.
Now, here's the problem was that the cultural appropriation stuff has gotten, like, almost too to the right side. Like, there was a time where people may be doing offensive stuff because it's like, well, why not just diversify, use other people who maybe fit that instead of having to just either do their voice or think what you're doing is the voice. And there's that fine line. But, like, if you're somebody like those guys, well, you have a Latino saying, yo, the way they do it, that shit is great. I don't feel like offended. I don't feel like whatever. I don't feel a way about it. It feels like, well, then we don't have to. But it's like, obviously, Paul's not the voice for Mexicans.
Yeah.
But it's a tough line to straddle. Like, Cornbread. Most of us are black. We have a one white girl. Sometimes we cast a white player here and there. But we don't really try to like. I don't feel like we've had that many sketches where we've had to like possibly do other accents. But we know that we could. Like, well. The most thing I can get, I guess we can get, if you want to hold us to the cultural appropriation standard, was when I did Bernie Sanders. Like, I dressed myself up in whiteface and I did a Bernie impression. And like, did you go to that show?
Yes.
I'm
laughing.
I looked ridiculous. But yeah, it's crazy that they're doing that. Like, so they're telling people that they're not to do accents. Like, accents are such a big part of the game.
I did a Mexican joke, right?
Right.
Talking about how the Mexican mafia came and got me because I was cutting my own grass. And so like them niggas approached me like, hey, so you just gonna cut your own grass? Like, you don't do that around here. And so like I did the joke. It was kind of funny. But then like Haiti was saying, he was like, why didn't you do it in the accent? I was like, I didn't want to offend nobody. He's like, nigga, do the accent. So the next time I did it with the accent,
got more laughs?
and I got more laughs. You know what I mean? So like
here's what look. And when you're talking about just putting under the hat, the comedy hat, right? What I was taught or what I've kind of like learned and absorbed is it should go like this. Your accent or whatever can either be spot on sharp or really trash. The time where it struggles is if it's in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can do an accent, I mean, I feel like you should go for it, is because your joke is not intentionally trying to offend them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, one of the greatest sketches of all time, and I forgot to
Sorry.
mention this guy as a sketch performer, but Artie Lange doing...
What was he on Mad TV?
On Mad TV, doing Black Mama.
I gotta watch
Do you guys
that.
remember that?
I'm gonna do my homework. I'll watch it.
The point of the sketch was Artie Lange was a guy driving his car and accidentally hit a pedestrian who was a black mama.
I know.
And her spirit went.
No, I know the comment. I didn't know he was on the show.
Her spirit went into his body.
Yes.
So he takes over her life. So Artie Lange plays a black mama.
That's fucking funny.
I'll show you afterwards, man. You gotta watch it.
Nah, I'm gonna check.
But you can't do that today, especially white to black. You can't do that.
Absolutely not.
And it was so funny, man. Like you would watch it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be offended in the least bit.
I mean, and that's the thing too. Like the times change. And Living Color, when they came out, there was an audience starving for fucking black people representation and just Asian, Spanish, because they did Latino accents and Asian. They had an Asian on for a little bit, but they hit the other shit that SNL would never try and take on. And the Mad TV even expanded that even more, right? Because they had Latino cast, they had more Asian. Did they have Asian actors?
Bobby Lee was the big
Bobby
one.
Lee, sorry, Bobby Lee was the big gun for them. Yeah. And they did a lot of good work for a lot of years. You know what I'm saying? They had a great run. So, and you know, where we're in this weird place where like sketch comedy is kind of coming back, but it's just very segregated now.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so yeah. I feel like it's a good talk about just that. You do have one more, or Key and Peele was your last one, right?
No, Key and Peele was my last one.
So,
Although
yeah.
maybe now Artie Lange above that, just for
that one sketch.
For that one sketch, because he also played a character where he was like a human pig. So he had the snout and nipples and stuff like that, like coming out. But his thing was he tells a story about how he was hardcore on drugs, you know?
Yeah. Of
so
course.
he went to go score in the middle while they were filming.
All right.
So like he left. So he's just dressed as this human pig in traffic, picking up heroin from some dude. And he said that, or coke or whatever. But like how he snorted the coke was he had to rip the nose up and then do the coke and then put the nose back down. Dude, it's such a great story.
Yeah, Artie's out there, man. Shout outs to Artie Lange, man. He's wild. I hope he's been clean, right? He's been trying to stay clean. What's the latest on him?
He's
allegedly
clean.
Working. I mean, you hope he could just keep it together.
His nose deflated.
That's good. His nose is looking.
No, I mean his nose still looks bad.
Oh yeah.
It went from being a nose to like now it's like all the way
expanded. It got weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Artie Lange anymore. He makes me uncomfortable, but he's great.
Sad now.
What? Yeah, I know. We got so sad. Shout out to all the sketch legends though. How much time is left in the game?
We got like 3 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this podcast up.
Oh, in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, you meant the game?
Yeah, what's up in the game?
Oh, sorry. No,
Fourth quarter?
7 minutes in the third. Lakers are up by 3.
All right, we good.
Maybe 6.
But we got to wrap up.
But before we wrap,
yeah.
did anybody see Pete Davidson's stand-up?
I watched yesterday.
Yeah, same sentiments.
No, I have some thoughts.
Yeah, hold on, I'm about to give you something. You didn't see it?
I haven't seen it.
I watched it, and like, I don't like to like critique people's shit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like,
you're a consumer. You have the right.
You know, yeah, but at the same time, like that nigga established. Like, who am I to critique his shit? But I just feel like he didn't get the laughs that I thought he was gonna get, like the big laugh or whatever. And like some of his jokes just didn't hit. And it's on a special. That's what's fucking me up.
Yeah.
You know, it was on a special. Like, so you say a joke and it don't hit. I'm like, damn. What
Yeah.
going on? And then on the special, he's like, well, don't be mad at me. He's like, Netflix just giving these shits out. I'm like,
I like the special, and I have a different relationship with Pete, so my viewpoint about it is different because I go way back with Pete when we started out together.
oh, you actually know him?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started out together. Like I met him. I mean, I've known him since he was like 16. So here's the thing with Pete, right? Pete doesn't perform. He performs at the beat of his own drum. Like he moves at his pace. Now, sometimes when you consume comedy, there are comics who are way more punchier, who are way more just like physical and just way more commanding, and that's just not Pete. Stylistically, he's more like the awkward, kind of like just weird and a little dirty or whatever like that, insecure. But it works for him because there's a charisma to him, and his bits have like he has more setup and it kind of has like a longer payoff. So. On that pace-wise, yeah, you kind of don't feel it when you're watching the special. Like, you'll feel like maybe there was some lulls there. But I enjoyed what he was doing. Like, I never thought it was...
I didn't say it was bad.
I'm not saying you said it. I'm just saying, like, I could understand why you kind of feel like, well, it wasn't getting them like that. It wasn't hitting. Things were hitting. And I think that with Pete, yeah, he's just like a different taste. It's kind of hard. Maybe he just doesn't pop the same on camera. But my boy told me that who tours with him. I'm not gonna tell you. He just he felt like there were better shows live on the tour. For whatever reason, it just didn't connect that way when they filmed it in New York, and that happens too on specials. But I don't think I thought it was a decent special. It was cool. Like
David Arnold's shit is good too.
Funny, I watched David Arnold, and I was about to say, Mike, if you want to compare, but it's just drastically different comedy styles.
Yeah.
There are different stages in their career. David's like a 20-year guy. He's older. He's like 50. Pete's like 25. Pete's been famous, the guy damn near 5 years. It's so drastically different, but you can appreciate both for different reasons. And it was weird because like you see Dave, and you're like, this guy is fucking killing the whole special. Like you hear the laughs, you hear it's raucous. Pete is more so it's kind of there, up and down here and there, whatever like that. But like. I asked a person about the special, and I was like, so you watched both. What did you get out of each? And they were like, well, I kind of enjoyed watching Pete more. Even though David's was funny, but I enjoyed watching Pete more. And it's just crazy what people take away from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I thought Pete was cool. This might not be everybody's cup of tea, though. I'll say that. You know, but yeah, it's good to just watch. But it's good to watch different. You know what I mean? Because you would just think, well, shouldn't it be more like this? And it's just like, yeah, but you know, there's people who operate like that. Like pace is just different. You know, what do you think, Paul? You watch any of those specials?
I haven't watched them yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good watch to check out. Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. David did a high hour. Pete did a good hour. But you take away different things from both of them.
Yeah, people need to know that there's different
Yeah.
ways to consume a special.
Yeah, I just feel like we gotta just watch what we teeter as bad comedy or what we viewpoint as bad comedy. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just like trash and stuff because it's just not the style that you enjoy much. But then, you know, there's a thing about what's the emphasis on what's more important. Like, you know what I mean? All right, Paul, you getting me tempted to just get up and watch the game. Come on, man.
Sorry.
Paul, what you got, Ty? You anything you want to plug before we wrap?
Fear no man.
Fear no man.
You know what I mean? Fear no man, and don't be scared to go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got 2 hands, 2 legs, and a mouth just like I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You bleed just like I bleed. If you can do it, how come I can't? You know what I'm saying? So
Facto,
you gotta be fearless with the things that you pursue. You know, I'm not saying, you know, go out just, you know, with no direction, but you got something that you want to follow, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Don't be scared. Don't be scared to fail. That's what it is. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Thank you, good brother.
Yeah.
If you are in the LA area, come check us out. Like I mentioned before, Cornbread Kitchen, we back March 15th at UCB Inner Sanctum, 8:30. It's the Black Twitter Show. Some of the best sketches, some improv. We got some good stand-ups. Brandy Denise is coming through. She's seen her recently on Power. She's doing some things out here from Chicago, so we happy to have her on the show. And yeah, we got them fire sketches. You know, we're gonna do our thing on the improv tip. It's a great night, free comedy show, after party at Bronson Bar. So yeah, make sure you follow Cornbread Kitchen at Cornbread Kitchen on Instagram, CBK Comedy on Twitter. You can follow me at Nick of Comedy, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you keep following at For the Culture Live. And how can they follow you, Ty?
At TYSTERLIN at Ty Sterling.
That's it, y'all. Have a good week. Peace.
Peace.